as has already been stated today, on behalf of Kenosha Fire Department and Scott's family, I want to thank you all for being here today. Some of you have come from quite a distance, and everyone has taken time and effort to be here. So thank you for all your ways of honoring Scott, and for this wonderful show of support for Chris, for Ryan, for Sarah, for Sean, and all of Scott's family. But of course, this is what you do as emergency responders. Though we are powerless to stop this tragedy, though there is nothing we can do to take away your pain, we can promise that you won't go through this alone. We can promise that if you must face this most difficult of days, it will not be without us walking through it with you. And in that way, we are but a reflection of the God who created us, who knit us together. I wish I could provide you with answers to your big questions today. Like, why did this happen? Why is Scott? How is this fair? But I can't answer those questions. No one can. And if they do, well, be careful of trusting those answers, because in all honesty, those are not things we get to know. It isn't fair that a young husband, father of 3, a good guy, a good provider, a good person should die so young. Why does this happen? That is a good question without any good answer. And if I could give you an answer, it wouldn't ease your pain. It wouldn't take the sting of Scott's death away. But let me tell you what I do know. Let me tell you what the Bible clearly says. Through all we go through in life, we never go through it alone. Scott was never alone in all he faced. Your family has never been alone in all they faced. Like the dedicated friends and family who have been by your side all along the way, God has been near at hand and is near even now. God, who is present to us, walks with us, carries us, and supports us in the highs and the lows of life. As you, Chris, and Scott said your wedding vows and pledged your lives to each other in sickness and in health, God was there. At the birth of 3 beautiful children, God was there. When the first test came back positive as cancer, God was there. When Scott got a clean bill of health and returned to work and you breathed a sigh of relief, God was there. When the cancer returned and your spirits were shaken and hope was shaken, God was there. When you were playing catch with Dad, where he was coaching your team, or giving you a ride on the mower, God was there. And in the last and most difficult of weeks, trust me, God was there. And even now, God is with you, and in no less of a way, God is with Scott. For the Bible is clear, there is no place in life or death that we can go that God cannot reach us. There is no pain or joy, height or depth, place on earth or even death itself that can block God's love from us in Jesus Christ. I know this is a most lonely place. Those who love Scott most feel most lost and alone with his death. But as this visual representation shows, you are not alone. You will feel alone sometimes, but you are not. It will feel like everybody went home, went back to life, went back to normal, but even then you are not alone. You will cry, you will laugh, you will hurt beyond words and then sort of be numb. And you will learn a new normal to life, one that doesn't seem quite right. And through it all, God is there. One word used for Scott over and over again was the word loyal. Scott was a loyal employee, a loyal union member, a loyal coach, a loyal dad, husband, and son and brother and friend. He was always there, available and present for others, responsible with tasks and generous with his time. He seemed to be able to offer himself generously to everyone and not falter. He balanced his life, and there was plenty of time for those he loved and to those whom he had committed his time. He made every effort with a weird firefighter schedule to be at the family events and birthday celebrations. He made himself present and available to his children as dad, as coach, as general play pal. He was present to his co-workers and fellow union board members. He always showed up to help when help was needed. He was as good as his word, and perhaps he didn't know it or think of it in these terms, but he was a living image of the image of Christ, the image of God in his life. For God is loyal and responsible, that is, responds to our needs, and is as good as his word. I wish I could undo this loss, right this wrong, and make this fair. But please hear me. In life and in death, Scott has never been alone, abandoned, or discarded by God. And to you I say, you are not and never will be, in the mountaintops and the valleys of whatever path lies ahead, walk this journey alone. We are there, but more importantly, God is there before you. God has walked this path and is walking it with you.